Welcome to Brothers and Booze, where we are brothers who like booze. Well, not blood brothers, but close.
Brothers.
Right. This is a Blanco vanilla cream ale from my most affordable craft beer place in the world. Ale
Is it
Sound.
Ale Asylum? They're still doing the dollar can thingy.
Ooh, yeah, they are. Vanilla cream ale. The vanilla is prominent. It goes throughout. It's nice. It's not too sugary. You get a little bit of a catch at the end there as far as the cream ale kicking in.
Right.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
I almost
$6.
grabbed, I almost grabbed a vanilla latte cream ale that Paige and Rick sent me, but I decided against that.
I was feet away from them today.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I didn't see them though.
Um,
They dropped beer off in my house.
they did like a socially distant beer drop.
Well, yeah, I didn't even see them actually because what happened was I guess they were here. I left a whole bunch of beer out and I told them to take the whole container. So these guys go in and pick and choose and then leave. I wanted them to take everything.
You're like, I'm trying to get rid of all this stuff.
Right. Well, I just wanted them to have it. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, here you go. And Rick's like, you had a nice selection. We grabbed what we wanted. And I was like, what? So then I went out and looked, and like half the stuff I wanted to give him was still there. But that's them. It's cool. I know what to do. I'll just drop it. Like you just drop it, and they can't. You know what I mean? You go to their house, and then you just leave it there.
Just be like,
right, and then they can't. If you don't take it, then there's no out. So what's up with you?
All right, so a friend of mine down in Florida, Angel, and her husband Buddy sent me some beer mail this week. So I'm using Sweetwater's 420 strain mango Kush wheat. And as it says very explicitly on the can, no hemp was used in making this. This is just supposed to replicate the smell and taste using hops. So,
because Sweetwater is in Georgia and weed is not legal.
Yeah, so
maybe hemp's not either.
Yeah, out of Atlanta.
Yep. Now, if it was Colorado, we might be on to something. For sure.
All right, so it's funny. It's definitely dank.
Is that a good thing?
Smells that way.
Is that a good thing?
Mm-hmm. I get no mango out of that. It's wheat, but it's like a hoppy wheat. It's good. It's just not a no mango style out of that at all. Like I said, you do get that sort of cannabis smell to it, but like, yeah, I think it's a really good hoppy wheat if you like that sort of thing. But no mango, anything like that. But definitely very drinkable on a hot day.
But you're kind of thrown out that the mango's not there. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
It says mango though on it, doesn't it?
It says mango Kush. So it says second sticky hit from 420 strain, an American wheat packed with herbal, juicy mango notes.
Is it old?
Nose.
Is it old?
That I don't know.
Well,
it is from August 16th. Oh. Wait, that's in the future. How's that? So that's super fresh.
There went your mango.
Yeah. It was so fast they forgot to put the mango in it.
There went your mango. So anyway, dog, how about you do the intro this week? Because you're familiar with her, I guess, as much as I am. Mostly.
Yeah. So our buddy Casey, who's been on the show before, is a guy I got to know him through Dad Blogger. I believe you did as well, if I'm not mistaken. And he recently was given the award for Dad Blogger of the Year in Canada. All of Canada, all of it.
Right.
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. And Casey's a super interesting, lovely man, and let's bring him on.
Hey guys,
Cheers.
cheers. Before I bring my beers, Doug, do you get your beers delivered to you by horse and buggy like
No,
August 16th? Like I'm just like, oh, dude, damn.
Right. He's bringing out the beers from 1619.
But you guys are making beer with fake weed down there? Like seriously? That's
Yeah,
amazing.
what's funny is the date that's on the bottom of this can is 8/16/2020. That's the date. How is that even possible? It's supposed to be that their drink by date?
I don't.
Because I thought they just put the date on when it was canned.
We don't even have dates here. Like it's just a can of beer. You drink it. Oh yeah, no, there's a canned on date. This one was canned. What day is it today? 14th. This was canned 2 days ago.
Nice and fresh then. What is that?
Well, you know what? Let me tell you guys a story. So I've been in and out. Like, okay, so we know it's a pandemic and everything, but my wife loves the outdoors, so we haven't really been home as much. Like, so we've been in and out all the time with our bubble of friends, and we just had a random cottage stay on the lakes, a couple hours north of where we live. We just got back today, so I hadn't had the beer. I told you guys by Facebook Messenger that the beer I had in my fridge was inadequate for this. I didn't want to come on here with weak beer. Like, it was good, but it wasn't great, and I wanted great. So I did a run after, dinner time and getting the kids settled down. And I went over to my local brewery, Left Field Brewery. It's like a 5-minute drive from me, and got a few cans. So one is the safe bet, which is the Bang Bang. Oh, Dry Soft Tower. I have too much light. I'm going to try and get that in there. There you go. The Bang Bang Dry Soft Tower from Left Field Brewery, which is a 5.5. I'd give you ABVs and everything, but I don't have them on here, so screw it. But yeah, it's delicious. It's a good, easy summer drink. My next one is a Squeeze Play Cherry Lime Sour at 4.8. But it's yes, exact. Thank you. You guys are on it. I love it. But yes, it comes with it's a bit of a cherry lime tang to it, and also I brought a Squints Sunflower Seed Goes, which I'm going to drink. And the thing about the cherry lime and the sunflower seed, I'd never tried these before. So you're gonna get my unfiltered reaction to both of them for the first time tonight. So
awesome.
Boom.
So which one are you doing first?
Oh, the Squints sunflower seed goza, because I've never tried it before. It's sunflower seed. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna have.
Man,
but as you see the screen scroll over here, you get an idea of just like our craft breweries in Toronto are hyper competitive with each other. Toronto is like what? Like I have to do some math in my head here. So it's like maybe like 30 miles across and like another 15 miles high. Like it's not a huge city, but it's really dense.
Pretty big.
And in that space, you probably have, if I count off the top of my head, I think we have about 70 to 80 different craft breweries who are doing rather well right now. Nice. So literally like within a 5 to 10 minute drive by my house, I could hit 6 different breweries. And I'm just like, what do I feel like today? So it's really good.
I'm super intrigued with this one. I am a fan of Gosas. Greg is not, so this is like
cheers. We'll see how it goes. First drink.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of good ones.
And that's good. That's a fair point.
Oh, the guy was not wrong. Okay. So it does have a lemon hint to it. It does taste like a nice lemonade, and it has a nutty aftertaste that comes with it. But I think it's like, if you like sunflower seeds as they are, they've taken the essence of it, and it really comes down to just like a nice, light, snacky beer, if you will. I like it. I'm going to be drinking this all summer. It's going to be great. Oh, wait.
Snacky.
I just got the rest of the sunflower seed, and I'm just like, oh, man, I'm going to have to wash that down with more beer. This is going to be interesting. Okay. It just hit my tongue a second ago, and I'm like, oh, wait. It's pretty good. I like the beginning. The ending, Brock did. Brock is great. Brock brought me contraband beer that I smuggled over the border. Actually, I think I declared it. I might not have declared it. Whatever. I brought it back and it was delicious. So Brock, thank you for that beer.
This is live in Canada. You know that too, right?
That's okay.
What are they going to do? Come to his house and arrest him?
I'm here already.
They would.
I'm like past transgressions. Do those count? Yeah, you guys are.
Okay.
I still don't understand. I still don't understand how you like people. American law. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Dog, he's dark enough. They will come after him here.
That's a fair point. It's tough, but it's a fair point.
Anyway,
yeah, I pay enough taxes here that they're just like, we'll let you with a pass.
No. So there were 2 sours.
Yeah, you brought me a What did you bring? So yeah, what were they? So Jackie O's and the Urban Artifacts. One of them was a strawberry rhubarb, I think, and the other one, ooh, Brock, you're gonna have to help me out. I can't remember. They both went down so well that I forgot because they just drank real fast.
Yeah. Jackie O's and Urban Artifacts.
I'll stop taking over your show though.
Yeah, it's been one of those weeks. So I'm going for my second already. Casey, obviously since we last saw you, we've entered a pandemic. We've had social unrest. We have racism rampant. We have all kinds of shit going on. How you doing, buddy? We got all kinds of
You know what? I'm feeling for you guys right now. Like it's bad up here, but it's not.
But we're actually there's a silver lining in all kinds of bullshit all the time. I tell my kids, and I really believe it. I don't just tell my kids that and just bullshit. I really believe that there's a silver lining in everything. Our silver lining is beer, and they're making these Black is Beautiful beers all over the place now, and they're just fantastic for the most part. I haven't heard anybody say this Black is Beautiful beer sucks. I've heard like things like, oh, there's too much coffee, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this shit sucks. So it seems like a lot of the breweries are really putting their heart and soul into it too. They're not just pushing something out. But to do the Black is Beautiful beer, you have to give the proceeds, or the whole point of it is to give the proceeds to a Black organization or a minority organization. So this one goes to the Black Visions Collective. This is from one of our favorites, Doug. You see there? Dangerous Man.
Yeah, baby.
Very nice.
5% ABV. I have no idea what style it is. At one point in the show, I used to look up my beer styles, and I would have them ready. And I don't know, but it's a black beer, and we're ready to roll here. 5%.
It's looking nice and dark.
Figure out what kind of beer it is on the fly here.
I wonder if it's like a dry stout or something like that, because the ABV is fairly low.
Doug, what do you consider what we should figure out a style for beers from the future? Just so I just need to get this clarified for future discussions. Like if you get a beer shipped back to you from the future, what do you call it?
Something that doesn't have mango flavor. I don't know. The future beer. What do you think, Greg?
Not enough hop for to be a black IPA. This is a I would say it's too roasty to be an oatmeal stout. It might be an oatmeal stout, but it's roasty as hell. So it's probably a dry stout. It's not really that sweet. So it's probably a roasty ass dry stout, and it's nice. Really, really nice.
Yeah, the low ABV would make it nice and drinkable too.
Yeah. And this is a nice little carton here, so yeah, we're gonna keep going.
You got like a whole giant crowler there.
Yeah. It's one of those. It's a good for this week. It was good.
Is it do we just get to a point where we don't even have to say it's been a week, because every week is a week at this point?
Every week is a week.
Every week feels like it's alternately lasted 3 hours, but also lasted 5 weeks. It just feels like the time's elastic in the middle, because it's just
So
literally,
someone said this was the longest month of the week. It's on Twitter. Right.
That's on point. Because it's just someone sent me a message saying TGIF. I'm like, counter doesn't give Fs no more. Not a thing anymore. Give up.
Right. So, Casey, do we want to get our second ones on? Because it's time for me to jump in with Casey. I got a lot to talk to you about this week, or at least there are a couple of things. One is,
Okay.
Doug, you ready, or you have a second one?
I'll go ahead. I'll get ready. When you're done, I'll get in.
It's really, really timely, and I'm not. I'm going to bring in a political person into this conversation, but it's not a political conversation.
Okay.
But one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is one of the Casey has a podcast, and I'll put it up here once I'm done yapping. But I think it was the first or second one of yours where you had a guest on and you talked about how black you are.
Well, that was the first episode.
Okay.
That was numero uno. Am I black enough?
Are you black enough? Yes.
You jumped into the deep part of the pool there. Holy shit.
I never know how to swim shallow, man.
It's a timely thing because now we have a vice president nominee who we once she was nominated or once she was appointed or Joe Biden came out and said that's who we're run with. We had people running with the whole, and this started before though, just so you know, this was going on in the primaries, especially in the black community. Is Kamala Harris black enough? And now it's coming from the right in our country, and they're doing the more like, is she black enough because she's from Jamaica? So like they have that angle. So I used to get the am I black enough because of my skin color clearly, but also because in my younger years, I don't know, I listened to rock music. I played hockey. I played tennis. I played things that were non-traditionally, you know what I'm saying? Where
you didn't subscribe to the entire view of the entire one black person.
Right.
It's only one thing.
Right. So it's just a very interesting thing that we have it going on in Canada. We have it going on everywhere. It comes from a lot of different sources. I don't know if you want to speak to this or not.
I definitely, actually. So one of the big things I talk about all the time is the entire idea of tokenism and trying to fit in spaces that aren't traditionally black. And it's sad that we're still at a point where, people are trying to put everyone in a box. If you don't check off, certain expectations for what a black person is, it doesn't make you black enough, apparently, which is ludicrous because everyone's individual. And I don't even know if I can announce it yet, but I am working on a book, and part of this entire book is like the topic is black fatherhood, and I'm trying to break down the entire fact that when it comes down to the history of being black, we usually start with slavery and go from there. But it's I started with the premise of we weren't black till we got here. Before that, we were just Ghanaian or whatever tribe we were before. Things weren't what they were until someone made it that way. And if we want to live within that construct and work within the confines of that definition, we're just shooting ourselves in the foot over and over and over again. And we it's a cycle that needs to stop. I look at my, mixed kids, and their identity is already going to be confusing enough without everyone else trying to put labels on them of you're, today you're 80% black. Tomorrow you're 40% black because you're acting like X way. And I'm just or you could just be my kids. And let's keep that consistent. You're my kids. Okay, start from there. And then after that, figure out what the hell you want to be. Because the world is going to try to slap labels on you over and over again. I've gotten over not being black enough. I hear you on everything. I was dating a Vietnamese girl when I was 13 who got me into Nirvana, Alanis Morissette, got me into, all the basically my influences come from everywhere, and it's made me into a person now where I know I can hang with whoever just because I've been able to experience so many different kinds of things. I don't have to feel like I'm only in my lane with a certain type of people because everyone has equal potential to either get along with me or not. It just depends on if we gel or not. And it's never because I'm black or whatever. It's just basically because personalities more than anything else. And that's what I always say is who are you as a person? Not who are you from, the country you're from, the skin color you have, where you grew up, wherever. It's all who you are as an individual and how your personality vibes with other people.
I'm just going to end broadcast. We don't even have to have any more discussion, Doug. We can just
and when I was just drinking for the rest of the night. That's it. Great, awesome.
It's fascinating. And the whole thing too. What people don't understand is that a lot of this comes from the Black community. It's not coming. At least me, it's not coming from outside. So white people like to think that Black people think all together and we're all this big gang that's all together and we're all like, yay, kumbaya. Not you get in here and it's not that way.
We're mad divisive. It's crazy.
Yeah. But Doug and I talked about this, and I don't think it was live, Doug. I think it was an after show. I'm not sure.
Pretty sure it was, yeah.
But Doug's ready to talk about it now, about how this is this goes on in the white community, but it's not really so in your face. Or I mean, it's in your face, but it's not so like, or the words "Are you white enough?" is not the thing that gets said. But Doug, you want to speak to this or not? Because you've gone through this too. Was what you're saying, or what we talked about once.
So, to what you'll get in the white community, which is, from what you're describing, Casey, seems different. It's not about your, like, for instance, Greg will talk about, well, my skin tone is different, so I'm not. But it has nothing to do with your skin tone, with your white. It's what do you listen to? What are you doing? I was a basketball player who liked hip hop and house music. And
who are you dating in there too? So who are you?
Yeah,
because Casey is married to a white woman. I've been with a white woman for a gazillion years, so that comes into it too.
Yep.
Sure. I dated the rainbow, as people like to say, and it's, to me, it didn't matter. But where I grew up, that was a big deal. That was a really big deal, because it was very rural Pennsylvania, and because I like to dance and I was listening to music that was
a white man can dance.
I could. I can't anymore because I'm old and beat up. But the funny thing was this: I
played basketball, dated all kinds of women, racial wise, and man. So what happened? I'm sorry.
Well, the term that I got called was a rather unpleasant one. I got called a wigger because I was white and I was doing things that all Black folks were doing, and I was like, I don't give a shit about that.
But it's
like that's like literally the only thing that I've ever seen in the white community where it's divisive about your race, like from your own, inside your own race. It's if you date somebody that isn't white, if you play a sport that isn't predominantly white, I think that's less now. Like,
I think it's all kind of less, isn't it? Or no?
Yeah, I think it's all a little less, but like I grew up in the 80s, and it was like,
that's when hip hop was still super fringe, and basically listening to it, like, you had to be in the communities for the most part.
And Run DMC and Kwame and stuff like that, and people are like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "This is great stuff." Like, I'm not. It's. I remember the one time I had a friend of mine. I said, "Hey man, I want you to check this stuff out," and he was a guy that was open-minded and wanted to hear lots of different things. So I played him Public Enemy, and he was like. He just gave me these big eyes, like, what are you? It sounds like really aggressive. And I'm like, it's no more aggressive than punk rock. It's no more aggressive than that. And it's actually not aggressive. It's speaking about, like, granted, in the beginning with hip hop, it wasn't like NWA or anything like that. It was, PE was about as political as you could get then.
Yep.
And
but they were aggressive too, dog.
Yeah.
Like, back then. Now it doesn't look so bad, but like back then it was like, even I was like, whoa, what? Let me hear this again.
And I remember the thing that turned me on to them was, like, back in the MTV days, Kurt Loder was talking about them. And he mentioned that they were doing a song called Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos. That was one of the songs off their album. And they were doing a concert in a prison, and they were afraid they were going to do that song because that song is about breaking out of prison. And I remember there was like a lot of pearl clutching and worry about, oh my, what will you do if that happens? And I'm like, freaking Johnny Cash did something in Folsom Prison and nobody said jack shit. Like, like granted, he wasn't singing a song about breaking out of prison, but at the same time, like, no, I don't know. It's again the narrowness of it in the white community. From what you guys are saying, it's not narrow, and you're in the black community. Conversely, there's a lot more
narrowing. Do you think, Casey?
I think so. I mean, it's one of those things that people are starting. Like, you look at who kids are like, who black kids are idolizing as celebrities these days, and you look at, like, you know, you have rappers who come in with all sorts of different colored hair. They, you know, have rock influences. Like, they're starting to get out from the entire lane of like, it just must look like this. At the same time, though, there is the entire, you know, shades of color of skin that has a huge deal. There is the entire idea of, you know, who fits in what part of the spectrum. So it's not gone yet, but these are things that take generations to go away. It takes a long time to change the mind of everything. What are you drinking, sir? And what is, I'm trying to tell from your reaction how you like it or not.
Oh, I like it. It's from Ravenous Pig.
Okay. Okay.
And it's called Working Man Porter.
Oh.
And it's a Baltic style porter. It's got, you know, how Baltic has that sort of almost sweet taste to it.
Yeah.
This has that, but it's not like overdone. It's very smooth. I would like a little more roastiness out of it, but that's because that's how I like my porters. But it's really, really good. I tell you, really, you know what this would be good with, and it's going to sound super dumb, but it's like when you're out in the fall and you're like, I don't do this, but people who rake leaves, I don't care what the leaves fall with. But like if you're doing like that kind of stuff, and you had this on a like a crisp autumn day, it'd be perfect.
Right.
I see. As soon as you said I don't do this, I thought you were going to talk about like eating the leaves or something. I didn't know where that was going for a moment. I was scared.
I don't rake leaves. I don't do any of that stuff. My neighbor, it drives him nuts when leaves are on the ground, and he's like constantly mowing to mulch it. And I just leave all that shit on the ground.
Yeah, y'all take your lawns real serious down there, don't you? Like, Toronto lawns aren't shit. Like, it's basically like, if I were to estimate, what, 10 feet across by like, you know, another 10, 12 feet up. Like, it's just like a little plot of grass. And I'm like, oh, I'm so proud I have some grass in Toronto. Look at me.
It does the full spectrum here. We could have little patches, and we could have big patches. I've been to Doug's house. Doug has a nice sized backyard. He just took it out. He just put a whole bunch of gardening shit there. So he has less of a lawn than he did, but he has a nice one though.
Good. Yeah, we actually did something where we tried to do. I think the lawn mowing shit is a little bit nuts. As I get older, I realize, like,
I hear you.
Maybe it's like we don't need to mow it, so it's like at the constant length at all times. And so Jill and I decided so we have a half-acre land, and a back half of it, we decided we were going to let it grow to try to do, try to make sort of a meadow thing, so that we planted some wildflower seeds, and some of them came, some didn't, and we just kind of let it grow. I'm gonna tell you, my life is not any worse that my lawn isn't freaking a quarter-inch high everywhere. It's actually nicer because it encourages bees and stuff like that. I mean, we're environmentally conscious hippies here, so
that's good. I mean, it's my sister-in-law. Hey, Jen, how's it going? She's awesome. She also has 3 kids. One of them's like 2.5, and 2 of them are twins that are just reaching a year old. And I'm just like, how you doing, girl? How do you do it? So we have to, when travel restrictions are a bit less, we just have to like run over there and help. But I don't know how taking my kids over will help. Jen, I'm just sorry in advance. We're going to make it worse. We're going to make it worse. Also, as an urban Canadian, I don't understand acres. Acres are a weird thing to me that I just like, if I can stretch out and my arms do not touch walls, I'm doing well.
Yeah. I don't know, Greg. You grew up in Philly, did you? But were you in Philly proper, where like it was like what Casey was saying, like acres? You're like, I don't even know what that is.
Right. Yes. Well, my mother moved me out of the suburbs, man, really fast. Really fast is 8 or 9 or 10. So I lived, but I traveled back to see my grandparents until they passed, actually, which was about 15 years, 10 years ago. So I've always been back and forth to Philly for sure. Yeah. But I've lived mostly a suburban life for sure.
Oh, I used to be in the burbs, and then I escaped.
Yeah, but then you escape to Toronto, where it's enormously expensive.
Well, it's funny because yeah, no, Jen's life has changed so much in the last 3-4 years. Last 5 years, let's say. Like, I love Jen, but I'm just like, Jen is brave, but she also asked a question. She's like, when we say narrowing, what is narrowing? So let's talk about this a bit. Jen, what we were mentioning about before was the fact that the entire idea of what's acceptable for a culture or subculture is starting to widen. So the entire idea of what works specifically for one area, or what the definition, the amount of hatred or the amount of like flack people get for it is starting to narrow, because people are just like, those people are being weeded out. There's just not as many people who are just like in your face about like, I listen to this music, I dress like this, I think this, I hang out with these sorts of people, and these are problems. And so that part is narrowing. It takes a long time to happen, but it's good that it's happening. It's just going to take ages to do it. Yeah. So that's what we're saying.
Boom.
I'm just a guest on the show. I just talk a lot.
No, you're but listen, perfect segue. You're not only the guest, you're the sponsor.
I remember this. Oh my gosh.
So now it's time for our sponsor. So I don't know what you want to talk about, but
my gosh,
something like this or something.
Okay, let me get my announcer voice on. Hi guys, I'm Casey Palmer, Canadian dad. I write blogs and write books and do podcasts and do all sorts of stuff online. And this is the voice I usually use all the time. It drives people crazy, but it works. If you want to check out more of the amazing stuff that comes out from my mouth, my brain, and my mind, make sure you come over to CaseyPalmer.com or check me out anywhere on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all the places, because I never shut up. But have yourselves a good one. Come check it out. Goodbye.
All right, that was the best.
That was one of our best sponsors.
For sure.
So on that note, I'm just going to leave it, and I just want to show you guys a video. You ready?
Let's do it. I'm scared, though. I am scared, but let's do it.
I was like, oh, no. Oh, okay, here. Let's see. Make sure I'm all cranked up here. No, hold on. Okay, so stop screen, share screen. Okay, yeah. Let's just
make sure you include that audio.
Oh yeah, we got it going. So this guy is pretty funny, and I want everybody to see him.
I don't know who she thinks she's talking to, but that ain't acceptable. Yeah, I'm gonna have a conversation with her, because you got a fucking line in the room, and there's no one in front of me. Yeah, I'm gonna come inside. Yeah. No, I want to be my fucking order. Apologize for me 6 and 6, and immediately like fucking 4. I'm gonna do my fucking job.
So like Casey, last week we started just showing these quote Karens.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call them. Because for me, the male is a Karen too. So
I thought it was just a Ken.
Or Ken or Chad or whatever. But like I prefer Chad. Karen because I don't know, I just do. So this guy, the funny thing about it was like he was all upset. And then what did he want? An iced coffee with 6 fucking creamers and 6? What's 6 and 6? What's that mean? And then he wanted a medium with 4 and 4. Did you hear that shit?
Yes.
So, but 6 and 6 is, the lady told me it's 6 creamers and 6 sugars. Do you guys know this or not?
Yeah, no, I get that. It's like a double up here. 2 creamers, 2 sugars, triple. I get those.
So
6 is a lot.
So this dude was all. He was all.
That man did not need 6 sugars.
Right.
He didn't need it. He's already cut. That's what I was thinking. So I saw Beer Days comment down here where it's like 666. Wait, what? What? Is this like a new Devil's Brew? Like, what's going on here?
Right. So Casey, where are you at with this? Because Doug and I'm pretty sure disagree on this one. Where Doug thinks that I think that the shit's happening more. Doug thinks that since there's cameras, we're actually seeing it more, but it's not necessarily more incidents. I'm saying that there's more incidents. Where are you?
I am going to quote the classic old El Paso commercial where it talks about hard shell and soft shell tacos and say, why not both? I think where more's happening, I think it's worse, and I think there's just more ways to actually record the worst that's happening. I think if less was happening, you wouldn't see it happen as often as it's happening. But because more is happening, there's more to record, and there's more content.
Because I compared it to the like the stuff with the cops and stuff, like police brutality. Again, has it always been going on, or now since we all see it? And then when the pandemic happened here in America, and then the civil unrest happened, and everybody's cameras out.
Whoa. Let's ask a question here. How is it that everyone's supposed to be on lockdown and cops still found time to beat on people? Like, how do they still find the time? Like, everyone's supposed to be like, that's where I was just like, when it happened, I was just like, how do you still find the time? We're supposed to be like in fear for our lives from this virus that's killing us, yet y'all still found the time.
I think maybe they just were like, oh, I don't have anybody to beat up. Nobody's out.
So it was pent up.
Frustration.
But then it was like what, like 2 days? 2 days of pent up frustration. Like, oh, I have beat up anyone in 2 days.
That's what I think is going on with Karen's though in this pandemic.
Right.
I think people are like. I think people are we're all wound to a certain extent. Let's not get it twisted. And I'm not excusing any of this fucking behavior at all. I'm not. Because we're all doing it, and I'm not out there screaming at the top of my lungs because you didn't make my fucking egg McMuffin in time. Okay, so I'm not gonna scream about it. But I think people are just on this edge. Like they say, like you wake, like the edge is here, and some people wake up here temperamentally, and some people wake up here. I just think we're all waking up like right at that level, Casey. And so all it takes is some stupid egg McMuffin that you didn't get. And then we have this, I don't know if you saw, some cop thing, she worked a long shift. She went to McDonald's and they didn't give her a fucking egg McMuffin. So she got on camera and started crying that she didn't get an egg McMuffin. Like she literally lost it because she didn't get an egg McMuffin.
We're on the knife's edge right now. Like as a society, well, here's the thing. It's kind of like a 4-year-old, and all of a sudden you told them they can't have the toy they've had for all this time. That is where we are as a society right now. We've had years of having all this awesome stuff, and then someone just basically came along someday in March and be like, "No, you can't have any of it," and we're all like, "None of it."
Right.
And they're like, none of it. And we're all like, and that's when we just collectively lost our minds. Like, it's been 5 months of everyone reevaluating what the hell they're trying to do and what's going on. But I feel like at the same time, we've been able to figure out what's important to us and what we actually need to make it through the day. And I've started to like really narrow down kind of like what I need. Like I need paper and pens to write out all my crazy ideas. I need lots of beer, and I need an office space where I can tell people to get the hell out so that I can consume my beer and write down my ideas. That's basically like my short list of things I need, apparently.
It's a circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, JG says that, well, I don't have to leave the house. Well, you have to leave the house. No, I don't have to leave the house, actually. Thank you. That's what the pandemic has showed me. I have to leave once a week to go to the fucking supermarket. Thank you. That's it. Beer days. That's it. Beer days. Mental states of mind are literally all over the place. I mean,
that's a super fair statement. And
wait, no, are there states of mind that aren't mental? I need to know this right now.
All right, Beer days.
Sorry, Beer days. I'm a horrible dad joke. Like we're all dads. This is how we roll. But wine is wine, beer, tequila, absinthe.
Whatever floats your boat.
Absinthe is coming back for obvious reasons.
Absinthe? Did you say that?
I said absinthe makes you absent, and sometimes you gotta be absent with all this going on. But how do you have time to read with 3 kids, Jen?
Oh,
I'm very confused.
I bet you. I bet you when the kids finally do lay down, that's probably she's like, finally, I can escape into some weird world that's not here where I have 3 kids under 3.
I give you that. I give you that.
Mm-hmm.
Jen, I feel you, Jen. Jen, I'm here for you. I'm championing you all the way from over here across the country.
Mm-hmm. Do we have any other beer? Casey, do you have another beer?
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
So I did open my cherry lime sour, and my reaction to it is like, it is a lot fruitier. So it's very light. It's a lower alcohol content, but it's good. But for whatever reason, I feel like I'm going to be hooked on the sunflower gozers because like sunflower seeds are apparently scarily addictive. So this one's good, but it's just like it's when you've like tried a beer and it tastes too much like other beers you've already tried. That's kind of where I am with the cherry lime sour. It's good, but I've tried things like it so far. I've tried other cherry beers. It's good. It's fine. But the sunflower goza, it's different. I like it. It's going to happen again.
Excellent. And what is your opinion on Americans sneaking over the border to Canada?
I've seen no news of this so far.
Do you have more room in your basement?
I feel like
Right.
So let's talk about let's talk about this. The Canadian stance on pretty much the entire country of America right now is I remember there was the news article today that said the border is going to be still closed till September 21st, and we're like, only? That's it? He's like, no. I think we're gonna need longer than that because
right.
we're still trying to figure out how you guys have 5% of the world's population and 25% of the cases. Like we get it. We understand why. It's just
Okay.
oh.
Why? Like I can tell you why. Like it will take a second.
We know why.
Okay, cool. It wouldn't take that long. So do I know Canadians like Barack Obama? Do Canadians like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris?
Honestly, it's not a matter of like. So we like the prospect of anyone who's not Trump, but we don't think that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are powerful enough as a duo to take out Trump. You know what I mean? Like we're just kind of looking at it. We're like, this man has a strong run, and he's been messing things up, and people like it's basically a lot of people's entertainment, and we're just hoping that we're just kind of like, hey, let's all wise up and get someone who maybe wants to actually take care of our well-being. No. But I just feel like the Trump engine is running mad strong, and we'll see. I'm personally not that hopeful, but if he does get unseated power,
you prefer Biden over Trump, though?
Hell yes.
Okay.
Hell yes.
Okay.
I'm just not hopeful. But my preferences lie with the Democrats taking power in November-ish. I don't know. We're all kind of like, is this man going to try and force like a tyranny? We don't know.
Yes. Cheers.
What's your next one? We have nothing to say. We have.
I don't know if your viewers are coming to watch like an uplifting Brothers and Booths. We aren't got into tonight.
Okay. We aren't always that, by the way. We aren't always.
Well, I don't know how it's not easy being. I mean, we do have some talk. We need to go back to the pre-pandemic shows. We did one with Casey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. They were so less something. Anyway.
Back when we knew the world was trying to kill us, but we didn't know the world was trying to kill us.
Right.
You got 3, Greg?
I still got this big one left. Oh, I wanted to show you guys though. Yeah, let's see this while we're here. I looked up the Black is Beautiful, Dangerous Man, and I correct. It's a dry English. Oh.
So it's dry English ale. Okay.
5%. So yeah, the ABV gave me a thing, but it it's really dry. Not too sweet. It was a nice one. But I wanted to see if I was correct on the old predicting what I want. So, or predicting what I was drinking without knowing. Um, so this is a question. This will take us to a different place. So I have an Oktoberfest here. So where are we at as far as that goes, Casey? How do you feel about drinking an Oktoberfest in August? This shit. Listen, this is middle of August, so this shit was brewed when. So then the point is, I can look at it. It's recent. The point is that it's happening really, really sooner and sooner. So, are you guys cool with the seasonal creep of Oktoberfest and pumpkin beers? Casey.
Okay. Where do I even start?
This says October on here. You know what I'm saying?
On one hand, there's the entire like no one wears white after Labor Day, and I'm like, shut up, I'm gonna wear white if I want to because you ain't not boss of me. That's one side of it. The other side though, there's so many layers to this answer I'm gonna give you, but like between the FDA and food coloring and your lobbyists and stuff like that, like every time a Canadian comes down to the States and sees just how many different flavors you have of everything, a lot of flavors that have no right existing. Like as soon as you say pumpkin beer, I'm like, but why? but why would you combine these two things into one? Pumpkin pie is delicious. Pumpkin seeds are delicious. Pumpkin beer. I have questions.
I love how he said it, Doug. He said that we have flavors for shit that shouldn't even be
shouldn't even exist.
I've always said this, but I was the guy who was bitching about raspberry tea like 15 years ago. So I'm like, what's raspberry tea?
No, you guys like okay. Like I've been down to like upstate New York, look through the grocery stores, and I'm just kind of like, you know, in Canada, you come up to the chip aisle, you have like 5-6 flavors across a few different brands. You good. You know, hey, I feel like that one of 6 flavors today. Amazing. You go down to like a Tops in upstate New York and you have like 50 flavors with all these different colors and designs, and it's next to a pop aisle with 100 different kinds of pop, and we're like, what the hell?
Yes.
Ketchup chips are
that we don't call it pop.
Well, we don't call it soda, so I don't know what you're talking about. Pop, man.
I, for better for worse, I feel that the pandemic's going to kill a lot of this, Casey. It's already
okay,
and it's the truth.
That's
I guess
good.
We there's this thing that said that 1/3 of our 1/3 of our restaurants will not make it through the pandemic.
That's not good.
So, well, not my point is that no, that's not good, but that's kind of what I'm talking about as far as the extravagance and the fucking like over monetizing over too many choices shit for America is done. We're past that, in my personal opinion. Once we come out of this pandemic, whenever we're able to get back to our restaurants that aren't, this is really going to be hard soon because I live in Wisconsin and we're not going to be able to be putting people out on patios. We're not going to be able to have bars at 1-4% and them make it through the winter. It's just not going to work.
Wait, are you guys doing patios now, or you saying you won't be able to in months to come?
It's wherever. So if you ask Doug, he has a different answer than me because we're American. We can't do anything uniformly. So with that being said, I'm in Wisconsin and we have these patio, like, we have people spread out on the patios. We can't only have people in 50% capacity, especially in our bigger cities. Once you get out in the crazies, they can do whatever they want. But the point is, people are still like worried about going to a restaurant or going to a bar. So unless this thing washes through, it's going to be really hard for a lot of those restaurants and businesses to exist. My point is that that's just going to curb all. I'm seeing less and less of this craziness, like you're saying, even in my supermarket. Like we're getting less choices. Shit's getting pared down slowly but surely. Maybe differently, but I'm seeing shit here where I'm not seeing the shit that I used to see at the supermarket, even 2 months ago. So that's kind of the pandemic's going to scale that down, and I believe overall that's a good thing. That's all I'll say. Because I used to just think this is just too much. There's a point to where there's too much fucking choice. Sorry.
Well, it's fine, but we haven't heard from Doug in a while, and I'm going to be the moderator of the show that I'm a guest on. But Doug, what are your views on this?
Yeah, Doug, what the fuck?
I've been letting you guys speak because guess what? I'm going to have an opinion, and I'm going to put it in there. I'm just waiting for you guys to get to finish yours.
That's never going to happen, Doug. You're going to be written out of the show if you let me keep talking, so you may as well just get it in there.
Hey, I'm a wordy motherfucker too, so I'm going to tell you what, Greg, I agree with you on some, except Lay's is putting out fucking new flavors of potato chips still. They had like biscuits and gravy as one, and I was like, it's a fucking potato chip. You could do plain barbecue, sour cream and onion, and salt and vinegar, and I think everybody would be pretty well covered, except don't give me that Canadian chip thingy. What the hell is that thing called?
Ketchup chips, baby. Ketchup chips are so good.
Yeah, but what was that one you brought down?
I brought like 3 bags of ketchup chips and like
but there was a different name. It was like all flavored or something.
all dressed. All dressed. Are amazing.
Wait.
It's like dressed with different kinds of seasonings and it's just delicious and it's great. And no, don't hate.
So
don't hate.
The
It's great.
Lecturing us on all the crazy shit he has, and then he's talking about some fucking ketchup chips.
Listen. Like I said, 6 flavors. 2 of them.
And we got another Canadian talking about ketchup chips. Look, Jennifer's on them.
Hey, now listen. Be fair that the Canadian folks have some interesting food choices because they decided to take French fries, add cheese curds, and then add duck gravy. Hey, how can we stop your arteries more? Let's just throw all this in one plate.
Wait, are you saying this is a bad thing, Doug?
No, I fucking love poutine. My heart is like it, but goddamn, my taste buds are singing when I'm eating.
You guys, are you guys calling out poutine when you guys have turducken? Like, come on, stop.
To be fair, that is a small section of this country.
That's the excuse I hear for everything from America.
Right.
It's just a small section of our country.
Doug, I was going to say there's a small section of Trump supporters
that elected him president. Yeah, exactly.
You got excused, Doug. Sorry.
Hey, whatever. Oh, and also, what is up with your bacon? Your bacon sucks. It's
no. Whoa. They call it Canadian bacon, but it's pea meal bacon. It's different bacon. We eat regular bacon. Some people just like pea meal bacon because they're weird.
Okay, so
regular bacon is great.
Is regular bacon
that makes me feel better about your people.
No, we don't call anything American up here because we have pride. Oh, why did you guys let me on this show?
Because you can't come over the border. So
I don't think he wants to come over the border at this point.
Of course he doesn't. Of course.
Like, why am I not going over to
Yo, Beer Days know some stuff. All right, so Beer Days asked me if I'm a fan of barrel-aged beers. Yes, there's a brewery up here called Blood Brothers Brewery who does Cab Sauv and Riesling flavored and aged beers, and they're delicious and sour and crisp. So one on that one, very good. And also Nickelbrook Brewing, I just had a bunch of Nickelbrook like the other week, and they are great. They have a Zap beer, which is really tart, fresh, good, and they have a wide bevy of bevies. Yeah, but it's good.
Bevy works.
I think so, right? Most Canadians eat regular bacon. Yes, exactly, Jen. Thank you. Pea meal bacon is a weird thing. We're not calling anything American. The only thing we're calling American. No.
Let's hear it.
We just don't understand. Okay, listen. Hold on a second. Like, I don't understand. The one thing about Canada is that we haven't got our measurement systems right. Okay, so we'll drive in kilometers, and we will measure ourselves in pounds. We will measure the temperature in Celsius, and we will, measure our height in feet and inches. So we kind of like adopted a little bit of what you guys do down there, but for the most part, we know the metric system is amazing, and that you guys are like crazy for all these.
Yeah, we're literally the only.
What's a gallon? What's a gallon? I don't know what the hell a gallon is. I can tell you that, you give you a liter, and then 1,000 liters will like add up to like a certain amount of volume, but all your stuff is just like your measurements make no sense. Fahrenheit is weird. It's crazy. I don't get it.
Right.
What's the temperature outside? It sounds like it's enough to fry an egg in Celsius. Okay, great.
Yeah, like, oh, it's 75 out. They're like, holy shit, where are you on the sun?
Right? It's like 103. It's crazy out there. I'd be like, yeah, it sounds like you'll die as soon as you step outside the door. Yo, Beer Days, I thought you were on our side, man. I thought you were on our side, and now I have questions for you.
Hey, I got to get to a third beer because this we're at 55 minutes, and I'm like, holy crap!
How long is this? Does this have a running time? Do you guys aim for like an hour?
You don't have you got to be done by this. No,
I gotta be at a thing at noon tomorrow, so I got that long.
We'll be done by then, I think.
Maybe.
All right, so this one I got one for the label. You know how I'm a label hound.
It looks
so
like
this one is named B.A. Baracus.
Yes, I said it looks like Mr. T.
Yeah. Yes. All right, name the other guys on the A team. What were their names?
Hannibal, Faceman, Murdoch.
Yes. Greg, I'm gonna fist bump you through the screen, but not break my screen.
Yeah.
Can we discuss Mr. T's commandments for a second? Bye, Jen. Love you. Thanks for joining in.
Yep.
Mr. T's commandments, believe it, because everything is Mr. T's commandments.
I'm not understanding that, but please do elaborate.
Oh, so he dropped an album in like 84, 85, and Mr. T's Commandments was a lead single. And it is like the cheesiest song, but it is so good. It soothes my soul of how cheesy that song is.
Is it cheesier than Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time?
That's a tough call. Party All the Time. I think no. I'm gonna say Party All the Time is cheesy.
Is that like the Party All the Time of Mr. T music?
100%. But Party All the Time goes so against everything Eddie Murphy stands for that it's just kind of like, oh my gosh, Party All the Time is that one thing where it's just like, were you high when you decided to sing this song? Because that song was horrible.
He did do this song with Rick James, who was probably pretty high when he did that. So
Rick James is always pretty high. If Dave Chappelle is to be believed, which he is.
Yeah. I got a podcast for you too about Rick James. That shit's crazy. Oh, look, see,
my girl likes to party all the time, party all the time, party
we're
all
about
the
to
time.
copyright it.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Well, let's see if Google pays attention. Who cares?
How fast can Casey get Beer Brothers and Booze banned?
Nobody watches our replays anyway. So who cares?
So this beer, man, it is it's a barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout, aged for 11 months in George Dickel, Tennessee whiskey barrels.
Damn.
Did you say Russian Imperial?
Yeah.
Is there anywhere they don't make beer?
I don't know. That is it's talking cursive. It's out of Syracuse. Wow, that's a brewery I'd never even heard of, and they're an hour from me. The headphones over there, Eric. Sorry. Yeah, so this is what's funny is with barrel aged and Russian Imperial Stouts, I'm always a little leery of those because I like Russian Imperial Stouts as they are. It's one of those kind of, hey, you know what, Joel? You'd really like this. It's really good. It's really delicious. And I don't get a lot of bourbon notes out of it, but I like Riz as is, if that makes sense. That sounds rhymey. I did not mean it that way. But
you like your Rizzle for the shizzle or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, whatever. But I really dig the I dig it. So the bourbon isn't on the nose, it's on the flavor, but definitely got all the characteristics of a Russian Imperial Stout, just with some bourbon notes on it. So,
can you guys start coming up with like really cheesy dad freestyles every episode. Like, my name Doug Ziga, and I like to say I drink Russian Imperials every day.
I do not do any of that.
I'm just saying, we could drop it. We can make it happen.
I can't sing or rap or any of that shit. So
Casey is trying hard to be the backup, to be our backup man. He needs to be our guest host, man, when one of us can't make it.
This is fun.
Past COVID days, whenever that happens.
we should have a show where we have folks bring whatever region or country they're from that is a dish they love and have us eat it on camera. How gross!
Where they just have ketchup chips and poutine. We've covered it all already.
Right. What is with these ketchup? What are you guys talking about? I gotta look this shit up now.
They're potato chips that are ketchup flavored, and they're amazing. They're just the best thing. But here's the thing about Toronto. I need to really lay this out. So Toronto is a hugely multicultural city. 3 million people, so we're the fourth biggest city in North America. And we have over 50% of our population is people of color, and we have representation from over 190 countries in the world. Yeah, that's right. Revel in those ketchup chips. It's no secret that Canadians love their ketchup chips. You damn right, because they're delicious. Anyway, so cultural food here basically changes every street that you're on. Like, it's ew. Beer Dazed is like goes from like amazing to like being just a hater. Do not dip plain potato chips in ketchup. That's just you should be ashamed of yourself. That's what fries are for.
So wait. So you're saying that is so he could have ketchup potato chip, but him dipping potato chips in ketchup?
It's filthy. It's filthy, and we should not talk about that. No.
Why?
I'm offended as a Canadian. It just sounds so wrong. It's like, okay, yes. It's like can you think about it this way? It's like you have potatoes, and then we're gonna fry them.
Thank you, Doc.
And then we're gonna dip them, and one of them's a French fry, and one of them's a potato chip. The French fry you can dip it in ketchup. The potato chip you dip it in ketchup. It's like, what's wrong with you? I don't even know. It's just weird. It's weird to me. I'm sorry.
Potato chips are just really thin. French
Stop
fries.
it! Stop it! Stop! I refuse to hear it.
Canadian logic. Hey, man, don't do that because he could come back at us with a million things.
Of course,
project that.
Right.
I'm gonna have my bang bang dry hop sour and just be happy now. Thank you.
Can Canadians get offended? Is that even allowed?
That's it. That's a really good question. We're so used to saying sorry that being offended seems to be the antithesis of our souls. But yeah, who knows?
Nah, you guys are way too nice. Man.
Everybody talks about how Canadians are like uber polite all the time.
We're pretty nice
compared to us, Doug. Who's not polite?
Yeah, we're Americans. We're like dicks all the time.
What's up with that? What is up with that?
No.
I don't know.
I have no explanation.
I have never been called. Let's talk about this for a second. I have never been called the N-word so many times as I have when I come down to America. Like, honestly, it's just like it'd be like crossing the street, and it'd be another black guy calls me, and I'm just like, not even like in a nice way, not like yo you my, more like the yo you know you are. I'm like, what? And I'm just like, how? But it's like, y'all don't even know me. Like, I don't understand what I did. And sometimes it just be like, I walk in their path, or I take too long to make an order at a restaurant, or it doesn't take much provocation. And I'm just kind of like, what? Who hurt your entire country? I mean, don't answer that. That's a long answer. There's a very long answer to that too. Damn.
Did you guys see the video of the one black guy who was like carrying like a Confederate flag, and they called the guy it's the guy from the Dave Chappelle show when Dave Chappelle did that skit where he was like the blind black Confederate, something like Nathan Grigsby or something like that.
Yeah, the first episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna show myself, and everybody exploded, and this guy was like that guy. And I was like, is he doing performance art? Because I don't know what that is.
Wow. No, I
don't know.
Well,
It was nuts.
I was down. I was down to 2 videos. One was the one that you guys saw, and another one was where the guy says the N word at least 10 times. So I picked the one that you saw. But if you want to see the other one, I can just.
We have to be very careful about what videos we show from here on out, Greg.
Hey, at this rate, Greg's the one getting you guys banned, not me.
No, we did this thing where we were talking on a show last week, and we mentioned the show or the movie. What was it? Judas and the Black Messiahs.
Okay.
So Greg played a trailer. A trailer the company has out on YouTube for people to view.
And you got copyright banned?
And then they were like kind of giving him shit about it. And I was like, dude, this is a trailer you put out for people to watch.
Yeah, we got to work on our creativity and intellectual property rules. Beer day. Okay, so beer days. I am neither a Rush nor a Triumph fan. I do listen to Cardinal Official, Maestro, Choclair, Socrates, many of our wonderful Canadian hip hop legends. But when it comes into Canadian rock, hasn't been something I've really, really taken the shine to, unless we're talking about Bare Naked Ladies. If I Had $1 Million, which is a classic Canadian tune.
Would you
count me as a Rush fan? Beard is. Anyway, go on, Doug.
I'm a Rush fan as well. But so where my wife grew up, there is this little bar near there that was called Tags. And that was one of the places Bare Naked Ladies used to go to before they actually became popular. Now, I'm not sure if my wife actually saw them there, but like they would come there a lot. like they come to this little tiny bar in the middle of upstate New York. So like it was just
why do you have someone who's bringing up Nickelback? Now, if you didn't think I was offended before, now I'm offended. Don't talk about Nickelback in front of me. Sorry, Doug. I interrupted. You can continue on with your story.
They could have brought up Justin Bieber.
I mean, we just take him as a joke. Nickelback is more of like a Canadian institution of horrible. But Justin Bieber just kind of like, we just don't pay attention to Justin Bieber. Right?
Bieber's actually a pretty talented human. Before
ladies don't get in love here.
Wait, who is the talented human? I need to hear this from Doug. Who is a talented human?
Justin Bieber is actually
for a time.
Before he became really popular, he played like 7 instruments. He was like really talented, and then he became super popular. And then you're like, he kind of lost his shit.
The thing I like to say about Justin Bieber all the time is like, and Stuart's gonna hate me for saying this because I make fun of it for all the time. Like he's from the same place as Brittle Star, Stuart Reynolds, and so I'm just kind of like, on one side you have this dude who makes hilarious Canadian like videos online, and you have this other guy who's just like a douchebag. And I was like, which is which? And she's like, stop it, Casey. I'm like, I'm just saying. I'm his worst friend. Fave Foods in Canada.
By the way, so.
Can I play another Karen?
Can you play? Let me answer this and then you can play another Karen because I'm taking over your show. All right. So, Fave Foods in Canada. Anytime I'm gone from home for a long time, I miss things like, poutine is a given. Poutine's great. You can get really great Jamaican oxtail and rice. You can get, roti.
Do we make as good as poutine as you do? Or your poutine is way better?
Our poutine's dope. I mean, if you want really good poutine, you go to Montreal. That's where like the home of poutine is. But you can find really good poutine facsimiles across the country.
What about down here? Can we find
great term for that?
Wait, you have poutine in the States? Don't you guys just use like lard and fat and throw it on everything? Like I don't understand. Like American cuisine is kind of a paradox for me.
Lard is an Amish thing. That's Pennsylvania Dutch cooking.
Okay, fair enough.
And I grew up in the middle of Amish country, so I know that very well because I actually have whoopie pies sitting in my kitchen right now.
I'm just saying, so I've been down there, and every time I come down there and the entire option of American cheese is on a menu for like a burger topping, I'm just kind of like, do I look like I hate myself? Give me some actual freaking cheddar, like actual cheese, please. Thank you.
Oh, you don't like American cheese, neither do I.
If I'm gonna be able to choose a cheese to put on, let's say a burger, I'm choosing Munster.
Ooh, a man with taste. I like it.
That is a delicious cheese. It's not overly melty like American cheese. Just like freaking coats the burger like a freaking raincoat. And like, okay, it's fine on a burger, but Munster is just goddamn
okay
on a burger.
I'm gonna admit I've screwed up my kids, and I'm not in the way people think. Like I screwed up my kids in the way that they're just like way too entitled. So like my kid, my 6-year-old is kind of like, Dad, we're making burgers today. I'm like, yes. Can you put some 5-year-old cheddar on mine? I'm like, shut up. I'm putting 5-year-old cheddar on your damn burger. You're 6 years old. Stop it.
That's almost as old as you on your burger.
Right? I was just like, I have ruined him. Like, honestly, this is the kid who was a vegetarian as a baby until someone brought over some Wagyu beef for him to try, and his eyes lit up, and I'm like, I screwed this child up for life.
Right.
Chocolate is terrible. That's a fact.
Get UK chocolate, honestly.
American cheese is awful. Yes, I agree. Totally. All right. We got time
Hit me with a Karen. Let's go.
We got time for Crazy Karen. Crazy Karen.
Bring it on.
All right. This one, I don't know. For some reason, I can watch this one over and over again. I don't know why, but this makes me laugh every time. Here we go.
Yep. Thank you. Good. Oh.
Bitch, now get the fuck out my side.
Wow. Yeah. You go for me. You just me out up and down.
What the fuck?
Wow.
All right.
I like the tiny fury of entitled white kids.
That was great. Wasn't that great? I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That's why I'm staying. That's another reason why I'm staying. Yes. Thank you.
I don't even know what I just watched. Wow.
Was that like a 16-year-old white girl just fucking
going crazy? Like what? Well, I guess she didn't like being filmed, right? I guess that's what it. Something again that proves what I'm not proves, but this is more anecdotal evidence of what I was saying, that people start here and like they're just right there. I don't know what the woman did to get all that. I'm not sure. You guys. Look at Doug's face.
I just don't know, man. All right, so I'll state this: I worked in a freaking Hardee's for 2 years, and I worked as a drive-through. I did all the fucking things there. I had people yell at me for orders that were wrong. Never once in my goddamn life would I have ever thought to react the way that person did there. For anything. That person could have called me you're the dumbest motherfucker I've ever seen, and be like, thank you. And I would have handed him the order. And I would have went and bitched to my friend, and I would have been like, whatever, and I'm fine. But like that lady just lost her shit.
See,
what's a Hardee's?
A Hardee's is junior, kind of like a lower brand Burger King.
Oh, let's pull it up.
You can get wait. You can get lower than Burger King?
Yes, you can.
Whoa. Hardee's is lower than Burger King?
Yeah.
Okay, so two things. So I'm gonna answer beer days are one thing here. I think you meant Shea Cora restaurant, which is a French restaurant we have up here, and they do a lot of breakfast foods. I've been to Cora. There's better crepes you can get, but crepes from Cora are pretty good. Now, as for your fast food epidemic in America, I remember my first trip to the States without my family. I came down to the States when I was 22 years old. And I remember I was down in LA area. So I stayed with a friend in Long Beach and I was in that area. And I remember I could go over to a Taco Bell and get 6 tacos and a 32-ounce fountain drink for something like $5. And I was like, how does this make any economic sense whatsoever? To get 6 tacos and a fountain drink of a mass as big as my head for $5. And I realized after, like, I didn't realize at the time because I was 23, and 23-year-olds don't know a thing. They don't know anything about life. And years later, I was just kind of like, oh, because it's all shit. It's gonna make you horrible inside, so it's cheap as hell to produce. Okay, so I get it. So I understand. Like, I'm starting to understand the levels of horrible fast food that's available to you in America, and frightens me because I should share eventually. I have a photo of like what's it called? The Heart Attack Cafe down in Vegas on Fremont Street, and they'll do a burger that's like 16 patties tall. And I'm just like, no other country in the world is going to think this is a good idea. No other country in the world is going to offer you 16 burger patties on top of each other with cheese and lettuce and all these other toppings. It's like, I don't
American thing. Yep.
I don't like. This is why I say like American cuisine for me is just confusing. It's just kind of like, I don't understand what your cuisine is. Is a cuisine that'll kill you? Because
yes.
Okay. I mean,
yeah. Right.
I remember the same trip to the States, the same trip to the LA area. I went over to a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles because I heard so much about it. So I'm like, let's go. Super Size Me is like my entire American experience in a nutshell, 100%. But I went to Roscoe's and I got like chicken, waffles, and fries. And I need to tell you guys that anytime a Canadian comes to America, we need to translate our portion sizes to yours so that we know to order properly. So a dinner in Canada is an appetizer in America. A dinner in America is like dinner for 2 or 3. So we have to like make sure we pace ourselves accordingly. So I got like chicken, waffles, fries. I saw the size of it for the amount I paid, and I was like, this is gonna be a good time. Manager comes by, it's like, gentlemen, I'm so sorry. We skimped on the fries. We're gonna bring you some more. I'm like, I don't need any more. The amount of fries I have on my plate is sufficient. This sounds good. And it's like, no. We're gonna hook you up. Don't worry. I'm like, but okay, bye. And he comes back with like a basket of fries as big as the plate I already have of food. And I'm just like, what do you think I'm going to do with these fries that I didn't want because I already have enough food on my plate? And every time I've gone down to the States, every time, it's just that there's way too much food on the plate that I know what to do with.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to tell you that there's a friend of mine who lives in Portland, Oregon, and he stayed in Laos for 10 years. And
gosh.
He came back to America and he's like, what is up with these portion sizes? Like, one meal and one dinner in America is 3 meals for me. Like, it's much. Like, he just like and it's all just heavy stuff. And he's like, when you're in Laos, you have a little bit of fish, a little chicken, you have some rice, broth, and that's what he was used to. And he came back and he's like, you're giving me freaking 5 pounds of fries, and like he just couldn't. He's like, I ate it.
Honestly, anytime I go down with Canadian friends, we split meals, but we tip really well. We're just kind of like, listen, I just need to split this meal in 2 pieces. We're gonna tip you like 25% just because we're nice, but we cannot eat full meals because they are grossly sized. We don't understand it. We'll have leftovers for 2 days.
See me after the pandemic on all this. Actually, really, I'm not even trying to joke. I really think this is going to be a big sea change for us as Americans. I'm telling you, as far as food and the gluttony and all that, I just don't see being able to move forward this way. I just don't. I could be wrong. We'll see. I got all this craziness that's shutting down everything. I'm telling you, it's just going to change us in ways that we don't even know yet. Because again, I can't speak for any other nation, but we aren't out of this shit yet. And I don't care how many people run around and want to go and do whatever they want to do. We're not out of this pandemic yet. So you can't really tell me how we're going to be afterwards because we're not even there yet. But I'm saying American gluttony thing is taking a hit now, and we'll see where it ends up at the end. That's all I got. I'm not saying good or bad. You can say it's good. You can say it's bad. I'm not even. We could spend fucking 2 hours on that shit. I'm just saying the whole America gluttony thing is taking a big hit, and that's where I'm at. Doug?
I think that manifests itself in one place, and that's more prevalent than I thought, and it's when you go to a grocery store.
Okay.
And here's the thing: America's grocery stores are built on all the product up front, no empty space. If you have bread, all the things need to be filled. Like you just never see an empty space because they want to make sure you have enough product to buy. The more that's less empty space, that means more people will buy. So like you see something in like we saw at the beginning of the pandemic with toilet paper, for instance. And it was like I got to buy all of it. No, you don't. You buy what you need so everybody has some. But that's not how we have structured our.
It's not the American way.
It isn't. It's I got mine now. Fuck off, and that's like we're seeing a lot more of. Especially with younger folks, where it's like a little bit more like, all right, we're all in this together. You see people doing that now. People my age and over are a lot not like that, but it sucks because like. So, for instance, I wanted to get some Drano because we have everybody home. So our shower drains just fill with hair. It just happens. I couldn't find any freaking Drano. And I was like, oh, okay. And I went to 2 different places and none of them had it. And I was like, that kind of makes sense. But it's something I'm not used to because as Americans, we always have everything we want, when we want, how we want. And I honestly hope that if we gain anything out of this awfulness is that we actually realize we don't need everything right fucking now.
No, and you don't need to be in my space. Stay the fuck away. Sorry. I'm not
did you see the socially distanced concert thing?
Yeah.
In the UK? And I was like, I'd totally do that.
Like little boxing rings it looked like.
Yeah.
Can we let's talk about grocery stores down there for a second because I'm gonna have a comment for everything you like comes up in America from my various journeys into the US of A.
Yes.
How do you guys have a country that has food deserts? Like how is it you could have entire neighborhoods that have no access to grocery stores whatsoever and they just have bodegas and corner stores? Like how does that work? I don't understand. Like over here, fresh produce is far cheaper than fast food. We're like, hey, you want to feed your family for a week? Buy some veggies. It goes a long way. Down there, it's like, oh no, a combo is going to cost you so much less than a banana. I'm like, but why?
Right. And I got like layered food. You can't eat at those places, Casey, and eat well, or you have to pay more. So like, what if I don't want the soda? So then I have to pay more than the combo. So then you just get the combo and then you throw the soda out. So this is why basically for here you just have to pay more and do what you say, which is yesterday the lady went to the brewery, picked up 2 chicken sandwiches, which were $13 each, and a bunch of beer. Brought them home, and we have 2 adults, 2 kids, so we split those chicken sandwiches up, and each of us had a half a chicken sandwich, and that's what we ate for dinner, and half the fries that they gave us because it was too much. So we totally got you, man. But at this point, it's just more like, for me, I just pay more. It's just like my beer. I pay more for better. You just pay more unless you're stuck. But that's how you navigate. But you're right. I mean, this is how America, people run around here and say there's no systematic racism. This is how America has systematic racism. In the poor minority areas, all they have is Popeyes and McDonald's. They don't have they don't even have Olive Garden and Chili's, which are shit, by the way. But like, they don't even have that. Again, we're talking about, Doug said it. Doug started this BS earlier with not BS, but the whole conversation with layers. You know what I mean? So then, like, McDonald's is here, and he thinks that Burger King is bigger than Arby's or Hardee's, and we could argue that point for like an hour. But the point is not whether which is which. The weather is there's layers. So like again, Olive Garden and Chili's, fake Mexican and fake Italian. That's better than McDonald's and what's the fake Italian? Subway, Quiznos, GG's, all the other bullshit.
Y'all got too many brands down there. Too many brands.
It was funny.
Some of them need to go and let the pandemic kill some of them. So sorry, I don't want people to lose their jobs, but at the same time, some of this needs to be
streamlined.
I saw somebody post something about, and I thought it was absolutely perfect. It was like, people think we're going to go to Mars and we're going to just make these little biodomes and all this. And I'm like, this is how Mars will look. And it's like all these brands, it's like Exxon and like, it's because, so I'm going to give you an example. If you've ever driven through Vermont, sounds dumb. Drive through Vermont. They have no advertisement signs on the highway. None. They do not allow it. And it is the calmest highway drive you'll ever have. And it sounds ridiculous, but it's literally like you have no incentive, like, oh, I got to get off. I got to go here. You have none of that. And it's like, it seems so simple, but it's something that lessens your want of the highway. This is like kind of a thing that I think we could all talk about for 5 hours.
Sure.
And it's something where, like, Greg, that you saw, you've seen our garden. Our garden has grown 24 feet. We've been trying to it's not something we can sustain ourselves with, but it's something we can offset some things, but we get veggies out of it. And like Casey was saying, you can stretch that stuff. Now you have to eat it fairly fast so it doesn't go bad.
Yep.
You're eating much healthier doing that. And and the other thing, Casey, is your country actually gives a shit about its citizens because you have things like universal health care.
Yeah.
Now, it's not saying Canada doesn't have its issues.
Sure.
If you look at the issues with Indigenous folks and things like, we have a shit ton of that here.
But we've recognized it and we're trying to fix it, which is a positive thing in the right direction.
Some of us down here recognize it. So
that's good.
So, but anyway, it is something where
I'm up there though.
I don't know. I feel like we can go a million miles, but Casey, this is where you're going to be a repeat guest for a long time. Just FYI.
Nope. Yeah, I'll be around. Nope. Just keep bringing me on. I'm here.
I'm serious about you being a co-host when Doug and I are in here.
Yep.
But at this
Let's
point,
talk.
Okay. Well, how about this? There's no talking. You are.
I am so down. This will be fun.
You've auditioned. Obviously, when I'm looking at my stats up here, people like you. More than me and Doug. It appears. So. We've been talking a few times, Doug, that our guests are better than us. But guess who gets the guests? Us. Right. So you can only, Orango Vea's bullshit can only go so
this will be fun. I'm down for the new journey ahead of me. Thank you.
And I'm serious as hell. But unfortunately, we're in a pandemic, and I'm going nowhere. But normally, as you probably know and Doug knows, I would have at least 6 trips under my belt at this point. I travel a lot, so hopefully, 2021 we can get back to that. And when we do, man, it's gonna be great. But Casey, we need to have you on. Coming up here in the fall, we'll check in with you.
For sure.
But you need to be someone who comes back and We didn't even get to him being a blogger of the year, Doug. What the fuck?
Hey, I posted about it. And I mentioned it when we started.
Yeah.
You're a bad host, Greg.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, part of the point is though, we say we talk about these things on the stream. We get on the stream, and then we just go like,
yeah, everything goes sideways, but sideways in a good way. That's the thing. It always goes a good way.
Absolutely. Look at this. Beard Day said that he would co-host with Jake Casey. So look at that. Yeah. Look at that, Doug. We can Doug, I want to take a week off too, so maybe we'll.
Hey man, I'll host with Casey. It'll be fun.
It will be. It'll be amazing.
Casey, though, you're a coffee drinker, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I drink tea, bro. But Canada is the third largest consumer of coffee per capita in the world, behind the Netherlands and I think Finland. And yeah, so people like, yeah, we are totally. So Tim Hortons is
Italy would have been one of them.
Screw Italy and their espresso. No, Canada. So we have Tim Hortons all over the place in this country, but they make crappy coffee. So I don't drink coffee, but my wife loves it. And basically, you end up getting to a point where you just like basically make your own coffee because that's just better. Joel, I'll drink any tea. Black doesn't really matter, but fruity is good. I like it. Also, I think Beer Days has a second question about whether or not I'm a musician. I actually was the frontman for a band called The Calamities for a number of years. It was a boss of mine who hired me. And in the interview, he asked me if I played an instrument. I'm like, nah, but I sing though. Like I used to play viola and piano when I was younger. And then I just started like singing and rapping a lot when I was a little older. And I was a frontman of a band for about 4 years before I had my first kid. And then after that, I was like, I have other priorities. And he's like, fine, you still have a job though. I'm like, yeah. So yeah. And also let's answer Joel there. He loves the Netherlands. The Netherlands are great. However, my wife is Dutch, and Canadian Dutch people, it's a very different like culture. They switch it up in Canada. It's really strange. I don't quite understand it myself, but I find that immigration will change a culture's perspectives and how they do things. Like Jamaicans up here are, you get a Jamaican from back a yard, as we say, back a yard. And they would laugh at us because Jamaican culture up here is so different from what it is back in Jamaica. That said, our taste buds haven't changed, and all our food is still freaking delicious.
That's
my rant.
Jamaican descent, Casey?
I am. Both my parents are from Jamaica. They immigrated here in the 70s, and it's been good. It's been a good run. Like born here in the 80s, and so far so good.
Jamaica, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so
don't know.
The thing is, like, you hear the thing with Kamala Harris. It's like her parents is Jamaican, and they're saying black, and I'm like,
right.
I just have to do this again. Jesus.
I recognize that 98% of American blacks are from, the same common source of slavery. I get it, but come on. Like, if you bring in a black person from anywhere else in the world, guess what? Their skin color is still in the same spectrum of hues. Like, bring them in.
So, Casey, you want to talk about one thing we do before we leave is talk about the beers that you had, and we kind of rank them from the best to the worst. So, you want to tell us what you enjoyed the most and the less, and where they're from and all that?
I did not think I would enjoy the Squints sunflower seed goes, but this thing is delicious. I thought I had a beer the summer before with like lime beers, but sunflower seeds in beer form are apparently delicious. So if you are in Toronto and you are in the east end of the city, get you some. This is great. As for these two, they're good. The squeeze play and the bang bang. Okay, I'm gonna try and orient these. There we go. There's one.
That too. So no.
There we go. Yeah, it's like reverse or something. So these are both good. If you like sours, they're both delicious. They're both fruity, summertime sours. But if you want something that's going to differentiate from the crowd, boom, Squints, baby, Squints. I can't orient my screen. This is so bad. That one right there. This beer is good. Holy dude, that was hard.
All right, man. Well, Casey, we will see you soon. I don't know if you do you have an opinion on what's going on with Canadian? I shouldn't even ask this question. Can,
Do
Casey,
it.
you
Do
soon?
it. Do it. Do it.
Do it quick.
Here, photobomb. Come in here. Show everybody who you are. Show 'em.
Hi.
Look at that hair, though.
I didn't go my
That
hair.
is amazing hair. I love it.
Sure. Ah!
Anyway, Casey.
I can't. I do.
A podcast. Yes.
Season 2 of Chatting with Casey is coming out very soon. I've been working very hard to even bring up the production value even higher. The first season was good. I realized it could be better. So this season, I'm going to bring in different guests. We're going to talk about very real topics, and I'm going to get so many haters, but that's okay. That's how you know you're doing something right. Season 2 coming soon.
Looking it up now. Yeah, Casey's really good about Joel. Casey's really good about recycling his content so that it's always in your head. I don't know. I always see your podcast on your Twitter feed, and that's a good thing because then I can always go back and I'm like, man, I wanted to hear that again. And I listened to your Are You Black Enough show recently.
That one was a core one to me. I am gonna do another one of that because as you know, I've been to the Green Bay airport and I've seen your cheeseheads and I've been to one of your Packers games down there, and it all frightens me. Frightens like the Wisconsin experience I've had so far. It's like every corner I turn is more weird and more crazy, and I'm just like, what the fuck is up with Green Bay? So I'm gonna give some Wisconsin some time before I come back.
It's only 2 hours away from me and Beer Days. So,
Come to Madison, okay?
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can always come to upstate New York.
But you guys have Tops grocery stores up there, and those are confusing too. I don't get them.
You don't get what?
Upstate New York.
Tops grocery stores.
Oh, the Tops are. Goddamn, their freaking logo looks like somebody developed it in the 1960s and nobody thought to update it ever. And I'm like, I don't go to those places simply for that reason.
Time has left them like long ago.
I love how divisive the audience here is over everything I say. It's so good.
Yes, fucking Packers. Yes. Green Bay.
Yeah, I will, Casey. I'll take you to Wegmans. That's the best grocery store I've ever been in.
Amazing. I look forward to it.
Yes. Casey, thank you for jumping on, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Gotta have you back.
Thanks, guys.
Casey, thanks for being on.
Doug, jumping in those beers. I want to get out of here.
All right, same.
Next week we have Joel Gratic.
Joel, baby.
Joel will be right here. We can jump into, I don't know what we're going to jump into with Joel, but who cares?
Yeah. So anyway, this was my least favorite, Sweetwater. 420 strain. It was a good, fine beer. Smelled the part, did not taste the part. No mango. So yeah. So I'm going to say the Baltic Porter, the Working Man, Ravenous Pig Brewing's Working Man Baltic Porter was really good, really good. Representation of the style.
Was it licoricey?
What's that?
Was it like licorice, or did we didn't really get into like the taste of it?
It was like it had a bit of the sweetness, and yeah, it was pretty good representation of the style, but not fabulous.
Gotcha.
Good, not great. The winner was my BA Baracus.
Yes.
Asian Russian Imperial Stout.
That should win.
When it comes to Russian Imperial Stouts, I just want them on their own. I don't want a lot of fanfare. I don't want shit done to it.
Straight down the line.
Yeah, but the barrel age in this one is a nice note to it. It doesn't overtake it. You get the boozy flavor, but you also get all the Riz taste that you want out of it. It's really, really good. It's out of Syracuse, New York. They have other ones. I have to look to see if they're the A-team style, because if they are, I'm getting the rest of them.
Yes.
I saw that and I was like, oh, it looks like Mr. T, and then it BA,
Yes.
as in barrel aged Baracus.
Yes.
I was
They
like,
gotta have a series, man. You gotta get Face Man, Murdoch, Hannibal. Man, you're bringing back. I want to go watch that.
I love it when a plan comes together.
So A-Team or Knight Rider?
I was more A-Team than Knight Rider.
Okay, I was into both though. So
I like Knight Rider just fine. It's just I like Kit. I did not like Hasselhoff. The best thing I've ever seen Hasselhoff in was a SpongeBob movie.
I was just gonna say Baywatch. Anyway,
SpongeBob movie.
or he wasn't in Three's Company, was he? No, he wasn't.
No, it wasn't. No, that was Jack Tripper.
Oh,
What's not Jack Tripper was the character's name. I can't remember the
Ritter, John Ritter.
Was it John?
Right?
Yeah,
John Ritter. Octillion, Oktoberfest. Actually, it was kind of. I probably need to go back. We were in the middle of talking to Casey, and I gotta go back on this one. It was all right. It wasn't anything. This one was pretty nice, though. I like this vanilla cream ale. Had nice vanilla in it. I'm not really a big cream ale fan, to be honest with you, but the vanilla smoothed it out. And then the black is beautiful, dry, stout from our friends up at Dangerous Man. Our friend Rick and Paige dropped this literally off at my house today with some peanut butter porter. Did you get one of those?
I did.
Did you drink that shit?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
I was gonna do it. I'm like, this looks too good. I'm just gonna drink it now.
Man.
It's awesome.
Right. So next week with Joel. Doug, you have a great week.
You too, man. Thank you.
Boom.